able for God's permission to move. We are standing willing and able for God's permission to move. We are standing willing and able.
And hello there, ladies and gentlemen, all our brothers and sisters who are watching out there. Welcome to Saved by Grace. This is a program where where you could share your testimony if you just give us a call and message us. And right now is a special day for all of us here on the social media
able for God's permission to move. We are standing willing and able, waiting.
And hello there, ladies and gentlemen, all our brothers and sisters who are watching out there. Welcome to Saved by Grace. This is a program where where you could share your testimony if you just give us a call and message us. And right now is a special day for all of us here on the social media network because we have the privilege to listen to the testimony of Charles Lane, who will be host on episodes of Saved by Grace. Welcome, Charles.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Really good.
Really good?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. Are you ready to take on this beast? No pun intended.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I'm so excited about to listen how the Lord has worked in your life, and I'd like to listen to your testimony and how the Lord worked through that, through your heart, your life, and everything.
Okay.
So take it away, Charles.
All right. Well, we had a previous discussion, and I told you a little bit about some of my background.
Yes.
I just kind of like to pick up from there.
Right. And now you're going to have to share it to them because then they didn't listen to our conversation.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We'll skip all the boring parts.
Yeah. We'll skip all the boring parts. Only the highlights.
My name is Charles Lane. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, right here. 35 years old. And, I've recently become reconnected with the church. I've always been a Christian. I was born into that faith and read the Bible numerous times as a kid. And basically was brought up in a straight edge family. My dad, he was served in the Air Force right here at Nellis Air Force Base. And he worked after that as a bartender for a few decades at the Tropicana Hotel. My mom is a school bus driver for the Clark County School District, and she's always kind of been involved with the Clark County School District. She's a government employee. And so, I was brought up in, like I said, a straight edge family. I was,
Yes.
There was some high expectations. Excuse me. Supposed to, follow rules, obey the law, don't use drugs, live responsibly.
Yeah.
Just all the regular, cliche stuff. And so, at some point around high school, I started to live a little more of a wayward lifestyle. Nothing too bad. I was, a good kid in high school, but experimented with marijuana like everyone else, and other than that, got really good grades and, just had this bright future. After high school, I started to really push the envelope as far as, I'm going to live how I want. and I'm going to do what benefits me and whatever feels good and whatever's fun. You know, that's just how it's going to be. And, you know, kind of like a rebellious heart.
Yeah.
Maybe you might say everyone goes through that phase. Mine came a little later. But, you know, I started to, you know, party and socialize with the wrong crowd. Experimented with illicit drugs, you know, like the normal ones like marijuana and alcohol, but it went beyond that to cocaine and, you know, pills and stuff like that. And it just, at some point in my life, it had the expected effect that it has on everyone.
Yeah.
It started to drag me down. It was making me very negative, depressed, hopeless. There was just no good effects at all whatsoever. Like I said, as you would expect. You start hanging out with the wrong crowd. You start noticing the people that are coming around you are just, you know, these unsavory characters, or, you know, perhaps nothing good can possibly come out of associating, other than, as they say, jails, hospitals, institutions, or death.
Yeah.
And I was definitely on that road where living an irresponsible lifestyle was taking over. It was becoming my biggest priority, and it had supplanted everything else in my life that was important to me in the past, or even at that present time. And, you know, there's always this part of me that sort of knew I shouldn't be living like that. There's this state of denial, and that, you know, well, I've got it under control, and it's not as bad as what happened to some people, or how some people are living. You know, I can just kind of dabble and just, you know, not go as hard as what, if you did go, it would lead to irreparable damage and negative consequences. I'll just kind of hang around here on the periphery, kind of live on the edge a little bit, but not go over.
Right.
And so, you know, that's one of Satan's lies that
it is. Yeah.
You know, I bit on, and you know, there's no bottom to the pit.
Right.
You can go as deep as you want, and really hurt yourself. And I just started getting to a point where I began to feel trapped. And part of it was psychological. Part of it was, you know, I was being a victim in my own mind, and I'm a victim of circumstances. And, you know, everything around me is bad. I'm a good person, but everything around me is bad. And this isn't fair. And, you know, I was just mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even physically in a bad place. And so I needed help to get out of what I was in, and supernatural help, because everything I had tried under my own power was insufficient.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the title of this show being Saved by Grace, I really threw myself at Jesus. It was just like, I need your help.
Absolutely.
I can't do this on my own. I've tried it by my own power. Nothing has worked. And I don't even know, you know, to be honest, even though I was born and raised as a Christian, and even though I had read the Bible numerous times, I hadn't had a personal experience with
Jesus,
the Spirit, you know, the person. So up to that point, it was black letters on a page. You know, it was very mechanical. It was proverbs and rules. And, you know, but I never had a chance to really experience the Lord's grace
out of the box.
How bountiful it was. How perfect it is. You know, it was almost as if not only did he answer my prayer and help me to, he saved me from drug addiction and all the problems that it had created, but he was able to, like, put his finger on very specific places of my life.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
It's like, if you just improve here, you know, this thing you've always wanted your entire life, and this prayer that has gone unanswered. The reason for that is because of this, and if you address that, my grace can flow into that area of your life. Those issues will be rectified. those blessings will pour out on you. And I was just like, wow, like,
Mm-hmm.
again, you don't, I'm not knocking reading the Bible, of course, but I never got that out of reading the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have. It's interacting with the Spirit and
It's
the person.
the Spirit talking directly to you.
Yes, having
Yeah.
a direct
Yeah.
relationship.
As somebody who already had the Word in his heart. So
Yeah.
you had the living Word in your heart.
Yes.
Because as the scripture says, the Spirit of God is alive and much powerful than a two-edged sword,
Yes.
cutting even to the division of bone and marrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And that's, that's a funny scripture to bring up because it's
Yes.
so pertinent and relevant to what I had experienced.
yes,
It wasn't just simply, if you improve your speech and if you stop using foul language.
right,
It
yeah,
was like down to the,
right,
yeah. Read this book. This book will help you in
yeah,
this
yeah,
area
yeah,
and how you speak and how you interact.
yeah.
And so I've just felt this. It's like an updraft.
Yeah.
You spread your wings like an eagle, and
Like an
God
eagle.
takes over.
Right.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
He's the updraft. He lifts you up to this enormously high altitude. The only difficult struggle that I could, that I've experienced recently is my own human shortcomings.
Yeah.
Fear, self-consciousness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm moving too high. What if I fall?
Yeah.
There's this one of my favorite characters in the Bible was Jacob. And there's that story where he wrestles with the angel of the
Yes.
Lord.
Yes.
And I've always kind of felt like that my whole life. Like God he's beautiful. He's amazing.
But did you notice what happened to Jacob in the end? He fought with the angel, and then I think his hip got dislocated.
Yes.
Because of the struggle between man and this powerful being.
Yes.
This mighty angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it was like a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah.
In that Jacob overcame the angel of the Lord.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly in the scripture, it says he essentially latched on to his ankle and he said, I will not let go until you give me the blessing that is due.
Yes.
So you fulfill this promise.
Yeah.
And he overcame. He actually, in a sense, won the wrestling match.
Yes.
But then, the angel, the supernatural being that was obviously more powerful than any human, touched his hip and left him with that
dislocated
dislocated hip.
Yeah.
So it was like he still got hurt in his victory.
Yeah.
He got his blessing, but it was at a high cost.
Yeah.
In a sense. But it's a great metaphor for life, in that great things don't come without a struggle.
Yeah.
And I certainly had my.
And did you notice because he left him with that? I think it's safe to say that we need God's strength every single day.
Yes. True.
Because it's true that he wants us to become like him, but at the same time, his strength is made perfect in weakness.
Yes.
And like what I said, in previous shows, if there's anything that will not enter the kingdom of God, is pride and arrogance, and that's why he keeps us humble.
Yes.
And he keeps us humble, and he keeps us dependent on his Spirit to draw our strength from him. Just like I'm gonna give a bad illustration right now. A leech, for example, a leech needs to latch on to somebody's skin to be able to draw that blood, that to feed on the blood. And I call myself and us, like all of us, like Jesus parasites, because we live on his flesh and blood.
Yeah.
And that's why to me communion is so important, because of the allegory of what it symbolizes. I cannot live a day without your blood, without eating your flesh. That is our daily sustenance.
Maybe it is a strange analogy, but very appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and the Christian life, it's all about growth. I mean, you're born you're born into this world as an infant. You're
Yes.
born again into Christianity as a spiritual infant. And so you come in, you barely have your eyesight. You can't speak the language properly. There's a kind of a humorous reference to the Christian language, Christianese or
Christianese, yeah, that's so funny.
It's learning wisdom and insight and delving into the word of the Lord and then applying it to your life. It's not something that just you don't just get born again on Tuesday and you're this perfect human being on Wednesday.
No.
It's a process of pruning and applying and then pruning and applying more. And so, there's areas of my life where I'm definitely not as strong as I would like to be.
Right.
Prayer, for instance. So I like to read the Bible. I find it very interesting, but I'm very lacking in the prayer area of my life. And going back to what you said, pride. I don't know if it's necessarily pride for me, but oftentimes, when you get out of bed, you just hop out of bed and you stand up on your own 2 feet.
Some people can't even do that because
True.
Some people don't have any legs.
True. So there's this struggle with self-sufficiency and that, I've got this, I'm going to get myself dressed for work in the morning and arrange for transportation and I really don't need any help, and asking God for help even when you think you don't need help has been a very difficult growing process and curriculum for me. In this school we call life.
Yes. So at what point did you have that Damascus Road experience with it? I know perhaps my director Maria will laugh at this because sometimes I use it as an analogy in my comedy, the Damascus Road experience, and I wear a mask and all that. So at what point did you have that powerful encounter, with Jesus, the same way that Paul did?
It really just goes back to drug abuse. I was living in this delusion that, again, I've got this under control. I've got this handled. I'm self-sufficient, and that was just not true. I always say there's a big world out there, and an even bigger universe, and there's all kinds of forces, and there's from individual people on up to nation states that aren't necessarily in your control. You can't control everything at all times.
No, you can't.
And so, I had just got to a point where Jesus had reached out to me and said, enough.
Yes.
Enough's enough. And he allowed it to become impossible for me to continue on in the path that I was going. And then, the Damascus Road experience was just, I was essentially called out of the pit.
From darkness into light.
In a very public way. And so it was, there's a combination of resentment, because you have that inner sinner inside of you that still wants to live by the flesh, and
that's a part of us that's still holding on to the past, basically. Because for us, it's almost like we find comfort in not letting go.
Hi, I'm Glenn Alex, and I am inviting you to watch Pablo Miguel's Manifesting Your Dreams every Monday at 3 p.m. on socialmediashows.com. You won't regret it.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without
for God's permission to move. We are standing, willing and able, waiting on God.
Church, actually, so it wasn't yes.
Yeah, it's that not my will, but thy will be done.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you've been a Christian for 2 or 3 days or for 30 years, there's always that you're human until you die.
Yeah.
And in between now and then, you want to, whatever it be, vices, desires, selfishness. And so, again, the Damascus Road experience, it wasn't just this instantaneous event for me.
Yeah.
It was like, for me personally, it was like getting knocked off a horse and then being like, oh, what happened? And you get back on my horse, like ignoring what's going on over here. I just need to get back up on my horse and like continue on. And so there was like this struggle of like, just wanting to, okay, I'll give up substance abuse, but I'm still not ready to give this up, or I still want to do things my way in this area. And so I can't really point to a specific event. It wouldn't do justice to the story to even attempt to do that. It's been a series of Damascus
Road
events.
experience.
Maybe there was one that was absolutely smacked me in the head, and the rest of them have been kind of like,
like a ripple effect after that.
Ripple effect. Yeah. It's been the Lord's graceful and merciful discipline drawn out over a long period of time. As it says, we're the clay and he's the potter.
Yes.
And so, there's things that have happened in my life and ways that I've personally improved that I never even thought that was an issue. I never thought that this area of my life could become beautiful, and it's just amazing beyond belief. And it's been quite a ride, if that's an appropriate terminology to use to describe it.
It's beautiful.
But,
yeah. Now, as I'm listening to your journey with the Lord, it's the Spirit is speaking to my heart and telling me the Damascus Road experience is not just a one-time event. It starts when you have that awakening and awareness of me all the way to the time of your physical death here on earth. So this whole time is like a process. This whole time is like a Damascus Road experience, and he's not going to zap us into it like in a one-shot deal. Otherwise he could kill us.
Yeah.
He could
take you right out. Yeah.
Like he'll take you out. He'll take you and me out.
he's patient.
He's very patient, gentle, loving, and kind. Very compassionate heart. And to think that this powerful being that is more powerful than all this universe, or recently it's been discovered that there are multiverses, like more powerful than anything in all of creation, can snuff us out instantaneously out of existence. And yet he chooses to love us.
Yes.
That's powerful right there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really Wow, grace right there.
Yes. Grace abounds, and he's just been amazing. I wish at times that I could, just pour out grace back and just be this wonderful person. And, try and repay this debt that I could never repay.
Yes.
But like I said, I'm still a sinner, still working on areas of my life. Sometimes you have to, take your hands off and just let Him take over.
Jesus,
and
take the wheel.
Yeah. And so that's been a process for me. It's something I'm learning and applying.
It's beautiful. So how do you see yourself as a host in this Saved by
show?
Grace? Yeah.
As I was telling the producer, I was a little nervous going on camera. This would be my first time actually broadcasting to a live audience. But it's an icebreaker for me.
Yeah.
I ultimately would just like to get to where I can maybe go into a little more depth in my testimony.
Absolutely.
Share a little more details and, the robustness of the experience.
Yes.
And segment off specific stories that are relevant to wherever we're at in the progression of this series.
Yes.
But also, I wanted to maybe incorporate a little bit of Bible study. Just, touch on some scriptures that apply to my life, or maybe there's someone out there that's struggling with something in particular where they'll feel touched by that word, and just to allow the grace that I've received to flow through me. And just touch other people, and hopefully it helps them in an area where they're struggling, where they're suffering.
There's nothing like keeping it real and like ministering to other people through your hurts, addictions, and hang-ups. Just like in my case, like I suffered a lot from rejection, being bullied, being called gay or like a freak, and blah 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 blah. And instead of me wanting to be in a group, what happened to me is like I ran away. I'd rather be isolated from anyone, distance myself from anyone, than to be like one of them. So in a way, I created like a fortress, which is false, because later on, and I'm still learning, and I'm not there yet. I'm still learning, and I have to learn that fortress is no longer there. That false wall that I erected is no longer there, but that Jesus is now my wall of protection against those that want to hurt me. And now I realize that human beings are not my enemies, but it's the spirit that's behind it. And your enemy is not human being, but we are struggling against flesh and blood, against the powers and principalities in heavenly places, the demonic, that's why now I've come to realize that I can't blame this person or that person and that person, like he did this to me, she did this to me. I can't do that anymore, because it's going to be like an endless tirade of accusations, and it will never end. Because those demons keep on latching themselves on, to people who eventually crawl into our nerves. If you notice, like it's not just, once you're done with this person, there's going to be another one. And another one, and
resentments, guilt. That's how they manipulate.
Thank you.
Referring to the demons specifically. They play on your weaknesses, and you've got to replace those weaknesses with a godly way of thinking, and let Jesus come into your heart and let Him be your strength. And then you don't have to worry about out manipulating the manipulator. You just put it in God's hands and let Him deal with it in His time.
Maria, did you hear that? That was powerful.
It was very powerful.
that not yeah.
So
But can you say that again? Like out manipulating? Out manipulating the manipulator.
yes.
Out well, that's not you, Maria. You know who we're talking about. I'm just kidding. Oh, oh my gosh. This is how we are here in the social media shows. The only thing that I can tell you is like just, feel relaxed and, just think that you're actually, sharing this with your friends and family and, and, we are behind you and we're listening to your testimony, and we will definitely, well, I'm eagerly anticipating all the Bible studies that you will share with all of us.
Cool. Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
I'm definitely not an expert, but
no, and you know what? And you know what? Now that I've realized God isn't looking for experts, but God is looking for people who are open to Him.
Yes, available
And open to Him, and who will under the command of His breath, when He'll say go, and then you'll just answer, yes, I'll go, Lord.
Yes.
That you're available for His call.
Yeah.
Got a little bit tongue-tied over there. So
well, like I said, I was a little nervous going on camera. It went a little better than maybe what I was expecting. So I appreciate you guys, helping me out, showing me the support, and giving me a platform to share the love and the grace.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as soon as I found out that you also came from the same fellowship, as I did, like I got so excited, and you and I were from the same group, in church.
Yep.
And it's really awesome. I mean, the world truly is a small village. It's a small village.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the nice thing about having that small village is we can all help out each other and minister to each other, and that if any of us will fall by the wayside, we're there strong enough not to condemn that person, but to pick up that person and be the hands and feet of Jesus.
Yes.
And tell that person that you are loved and accepted.
Yes.
No matter where you've fallen, or no matter where your mindset is, or even if you have a putty mouth. Because remember that even Isaiah, had a putty mouth. Isaiah used to cuss a lot.
Yep.
But what did the Lord did to Isaiah? One day Isaiah had a dream, or he thought he was dreaming, but Isaiah was lifted up into the heavenly throne room of God.
Yep.
And God didn't have to say anything. That's the powerful thing. Like in the presence of God, He doesn't have to tell the sinner that, oh, you're a sinner. No.
He just knew.
The sinner sensed that he was in a holy place.
Yes.
That he was in a hallowed ground. And the first thing that Isaiah said, because he had a putty mouth, oh, woe is me, for I am a man of unclean lips.
Yes.
Like I'm doomed. I'm toast, basically.
Yeah. What have I done?
I'm a toast master.
Yeah. Toast
No, I'm just kidding. I'm toast. And what did God say? Don't worry, I'm gonna clean you up. Instead of God telling that guy, oh, you have a potty mouth, like be gone, like He said, like, calm down, I got this.
I don't remember the specific details, but did an angel fly over to him and he touched his mouth with a hot coal?
First God told the angel to get some hot burning coal.
Yeah.
And he used that coal to
purify
the tongue of Isaiah.
Yeah.
But to me, that hot coal, I'm seeing that hot coal now, because there's so many metaphors and allegories in the Old Testament that points to Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yep.
And the only thing that can cleanse us and atone us and make us holy is the blood of Jesus. So I'm seeing that hot coal as Jesus personified.
Yes. Huh?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Charles. I'm looking forward to your episodes. We all are looking forward to your episodes.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Even Joe Escoda, who's in California, our other producer, is looking forward to your show too.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'm very grateful, very appreciative for the opportunity to come on this show and share with everyone. So
yeah, and then definitely I know that this won't be the last time that, because as you said, you'll still share more about your testimonies in other episodes.
I was trying to give a blanket coverage.
A blanket,
just
okay.
You're talking about maybe 15 years of sinning. I mean, I'm 35 years old, so technically that's 35 years of sinning.
Yeah.
But 15 years where, I was just not living how I should, and I just wasn't the best person I should be. And, just being very irresponsible and selfish, and not caring if I hurt my parents' feelings or whatever the case might be. And I just felt like I had something coming, some sort of retribution, some sort of moment of redemption for having been blessed with this great upbringing and this great household and all these opportunities, and to just be like so casually unappreciative of all the blessings God gave me the first time around. So he gave me a second chance. He pulled me from the fire, redeemed me, washed me in the blood.
A second chance, and even more beautiful than a second chance, is a new beginning.
A new beginning, yes.
Yep. He gave you a new beginning, out of all that darkness, all that, nightmare.
Yep.
And now, we're free. But it's up to us to take that step forward, as, our pastor said in church. He gave an illustration of these birds that were locked up in a cage. Yeah, and then somebody opened up the lock of the cage so that the birds could fly away. But what did the birds do? Instead of escaping, they just stayed inside the cage and looked at the person. Oh, we're very used to our prisons. We don't want to get out of this prison, that we're in. Like, we're very comfortable. Instead of like, go, fly away, you're free.
They sat there.
They
just
wandered
sat
out
there.
of the cage.
They wandered. They looked longingly back and wandered back.
Wandered back in.
That was a good analogy.
Yeah. So, and also the beautiful thing that was said last Sunday is that God not only forgives your sin, but he forgives your sin as far as the east is from the west.
Yes.
And here is why I was crying on my seat when he said that. He said, notice that the Lord didn't say as the north is from the south, because the north, if you keep on going north, you'll eventually end up in the south. But the east, if you keep on going east, you'll never hit west. You'll keep on going east. You'll keep on going east.
Very
or
interesting.
if you'll go west, you'll keep on going west.
Yes.
You'll never hit the east.
Yeah.
And it said in the Psalms that the Lord has taken away your sins as far as the east is from the west.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah,
Power.
It's like an infinite separation.
Yeah. Like I was just there, like having oh my gosh, it's almost like I ended up watching a chick flick and I ended up crying. So that's what happened to me last Sunday. Was just, oh my gosh.
That was yesterday.
Sean, that was Sean.
Oh.
Yeah, Pastor Sean, Central Christian Adventist.
Because I was there for the one the previous Sunday.
Yeah.
And that was the one where he talked about the Falcons.
The Falcons, yeah. Oh, that was Judd. Yeah, that was Judd who said that. But then yesterday, because everything is tied in now, we're doing Uncaged.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the series, the book that Judd wrote. Yeah.
Have you got that book yet?
Yes,
Oh, you did?
I actually I went to Central Live, and I had the privilege of receiving that book for free. They were giving it away for free.
Oh, cool.
So it's really good. It's really a powerful book. Although now, like, I need to finish it up. I'm going to finish that book.
I definitely want to check that book out. Yeah.
Yes, and
I think a
so
lot of it applies to what I went through for me specifically.
oh
I'm
yeah,
sure anybody can glean from it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
like and like even me too. You know, my sexual brokenness, my sexual addiction, and all that. Like I'm very open about it. You know, and I'm still, you know, once I stumble and fall, I still share it
Mm.
to people, because if you live, I can't possibly live my life, what do you call this, in secret,
Yeah.
because God sees me. And there's something powerful that Sean says: we don't have secrets, our
Yes.
secrets have us.
Yes.
It's the other way around.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
It's the secrets that control us.
Yeah.
We don't control her. Yeah. So that's really powerful. That's why I was thinking of oh, okay. So do I still have a few minutes? Okay, so thank you, Charles, for sharing
Yes.
our
Thank you
testimony. Thank you so much.
again for having me on the show.
Yeah, it was quite a privilege, and we're looking forward to Saved by Grace under Charles Lane.
Cool. All right.
And that's going to be like really awesome. Now, I would like to share with you, if my directoire will be able to pull those images for me. I have some images of Prince Charming and Cinderella. I've been watching Cinderella for these past few days now, over and over again, and I've been like crying and crying.
Oh, you had mentioned the remake.
Yes, yes, not the cartoon version, because oh,
To move in glory, to move in power.
Hi everyone, we would like to welcome you to our social media shows network. My name is Maria Pureza Leventhal.
I am Lisette Presley.
Hey, I'm Joseph Steven Skoda.
And I'm Jeff Fisher.
Welcome to Social Media Shows.
Hey everyone, this is Maria of Let's Talk World. Let's Talk World is about you, your story, your product and services. If you have a business or you want to join us and be on this hot seat, please give us a call or message us on Facebook or email us info@socialmediashows.com or visit our website socialmediashows.com. Thank you, world.
Daily for God's permission to move. We are standing, willing and able, waiting on God.
not the cartoon version. This is the live action version. Now going to Cinderella and Prince Charming. Cinderella's name is actually Ella, and her name is not really Cinderella. The reason why her name became Cinderella is because her evil stepsisters and stepmother called her that, because they wanted her to sleep up in the dirty attic where she was surrounded with coal, you know, and even when she would turn on the furnace, you know, the stove and the fireplace, she was always surrounded with coal, and there was always dirt on her face, which they considered cinder. So cinder is a sign of sin, basically. So here's the most beautiful thing that happened. Like towards the end, Prince Charming came to her, And when Prince Charming came to her, he eventually saved her from her nightmare. And the prince in this story symbolizes Jesus Christ. And Cinderella represents the church. And what is the church? But it consists of a group of real people with real problems, with real issues. Hence the word sinners. It's a collective of sinners. And yet all that cinder in Cinderella was washed off, washed away with the presence of the prince, because now in the presence of the prince, and because the prince lavished Cinderella with all his love, she was now clean. She was no longer the slave that was working in the kitchen and that slept in the attic and who had mice, as friends. Well, I think she continued to have those mice as friends, but that's not the point of the story.